TT Global versus AG.AL, the full breakdown. Today we're going to talk about the draft, what AG.AL or TT Global did right and wrong that resulted in this incredible reverse sweep. I would say it's 1-0 lead for AG.AL and then a reverse sweep to AG.AL after TT Global secured the match point 3-1 ahead. That was such a incredible series. So without further ado, guys, let's quickly dive into game one. Yo guys, how's everyone doing? This is your guy Assassin Dave and welcome back. Yes, I am back home. Got some clean jerseys. Big shout out to OG for sending me the jersey, and Blacklist for giving me the incredible sweater. Oh my goodness. This was such a great trip in Saudi Arabia and witnessed some great matches, great series, meet some great friends. And then next time, make sure to join us. I think there's some upcoming tournaments we might join as well. But let's take a look at this incredible series. I think this series, more than the execution itself, there's a lot of things that's been tested by the KPL region in a global server or in Honor of King server. So you get to see like what draft worked, what draft didn't work. Because if a draft didn't even work for the KPL team, for AG.AL or TT Global, it tells you something, right? I wouldn't say the draft is complete didn't work, but it will tell you like if the best teams are playing the draft and it still doesn't work for them, maybe we should try a different draft. Okay, starting out game one. You can see the draft right here for AG.AL's, how they start. They usually like to start with their core. In this game, they started with Long and Dolia. That's the core. And everything they build is building surrounding it. Okay, so what works with Dolia? Lady Jin's ultimate, Monkey's ultimate. There are a lot of different things that would work with it. Obviously for Long, you have the core ultimate that Dolia would work is Long's ultimate as well, right? This way you get double ults, which turns Long incredibly insane. We're cutting burst damage, just I would say survivability, so can farm faster. With that being said, let's quickly dive into the game itself. Now looking at this draft, now you have a better comparison of it. On a clash lane, I would say it's even, but Charlotte is really bullish in lane, right? And then for jungle wise is Monkey versus Ogren. Both are pretty tanky. And then the marksman lane, AG has a lot more survivability. So if they trade HP, TT Global is going to be in the deficit, right? Because they don't have any sustain at all. They have Yuhuan's mid lane, who have to come to bottom just to give the sustain. And obviously, the lane-wise, Consoryu or Mozi don't have any sustain at all. They're good at poking though, skill one, but the poke wouldn't be really effective considering AG does have Long, who has self-sustainability, plus Dolia, who gives a lot of sustain lane as well. But that being said, let's quickly see how the lane is going to turn out. AG swapped the lane and gave Long and Dolia to mid. The reason why is Consoryu was picked specifically as, I wouldn't say a counter, but really as a way to handle someone like Long, because Long relies on the 2-1 or 3-1 burst, right? The triple fire burst early game. But if it's really obvious when you use that, because you can see Long casting all the skills. That being said, someone like Consoryu, you can easily activate skill 2 and completely nullify the damage, the burst damage here. So top side, you see Dashrai coming in to help secure the side camp. Something that, KPL like to do, which is secure, put pressure on the clash lane. But obviously when there's 3 people coming in, AG decided to take a step back and continue to send Long onto the mid lane to match with Shrine. By the way, like if you watch the show live, you guys see some top tier quality. Every single details of this graphics for Honor of Kings is insane. But coming to this specific draft, both sides have a frontline tank, which means they have decent amount of vision control or initiation or disengage, right? Because someone can tank damage, obviously gonna offer the team a lot more room to have comeback potential. Where if you have a draft that completely relies on one-shot potential, it's kind of interesting. I mean, and that's what happened with AG's second, third, and fourth game draft. And we're gonna go analyze those as well. But you can see right now, it's heavily rotating for the first 2 to 3 minutes-ish, mostly just farm. There's not too much trading, there's not too much fighting around. It's just coming to the bottom lane, trade, go to the mid lane, not trade, farm, go to the mid lane, farm, come to the bottom lane, farm, go back to the mid lane, farm, go to the jungle, farm. It's a lot of farm. Look, there's a rotation here. Heavily farm centric, heavily farm related. Yes, right, get poked once or twice, but it doesn't matter, right? Because it's Dolia. He can just easily use skill 2 and he's back to full HP. Yeah, that's what I meant, right? We're gonna the Dolia and Lone Pick. It's such a great combo. And when I see people not playing this combo, it's such a shame, right? Because like this combo is being used in KPL till this very day. TT Global invading, a little bit of small camps. You can see the gold is completely even right now, 500 gold differential, not too much at all. And right now, Lone is sitting at 2.4k compared to you, Consoryu sitting at 2.3k. completely even. All the gold are completely even. So there's not much differences at all. With AG, because AG leading by like 700 gold. At 4 minutes, that's, you know, inconsequential. So let's take a look at first Tyrant fight. TT Global is known for the very suppressive objective control. And you can see that already, right? Coming to the Tyrant fight, first Dharma cleared wave, rotated towards Clash lane. And then you just have people who are in position earlier, right? So started poking a little more. Mods is poking, and Sunrise was poking, Crane is on the side poking, and Zoe didn't want to take the damage anymore, so decided to take a step back, which give a free access to the Tyrant Pit to TT Global. And I think they take this for free. Yep, pretty much. Was that one fight? Is TT Global back on the farm? Yeah. Again, the gold is completely even, but TT Global does have the first Tyrant buff, which give them, like, you can see on the top of the screen, the 76 right here. All right, let's continue. Moving forward here, just realized a little bit of the screen was clipped. Not a big deal. Still, just pure farm-centric rotation. Not too much. You can see AG was pulling the aggro and the blue buff so they can create a little bit of room for the teams to get ready. And now here's the fight, right? Ultimate from Shen comes out, but Sunrise is obviously being very tanky. Both sides just have a front line. The thing about this game is like, you know, you have a Monkey who's very tanky, Argon who's tanky. So it's just like, because they're tanky on both sides, that's why the fight is dragged out pretty long. But also, you kind of need it. If you don't have this tankiness, it's gonna be kind of hard, you know, for the side to farm or fight, you know, because you can't pull objective effectively since you don't have any frontline presence. Let's take a look here. Some chance to see from Zoe and Sheng. 2-2 a little bit poking Agram, but you know, nothing serious. Meanwhile, on the bottom side, let's take a look. Oh, we're showing Zoe's perspective. Sheng got a kill. He's able to get away. Nope. He dead. Flash ultimate from Joy. Yeah. Joy hasn't missed a single skill. That is so crazy. That's when you know Joy is a good support, right? When you play mods and not missing a single skill. Okay. Now on the top side, let's take a look. I want to talk about this, right? Like this, if you look at bottom side screen here, now AG is invading top side, knowing that mods went to bottom lane. So it's just all-round solo defend. And they're going to go for this blue, and they end up getting it. But now, just when Dharma came back, the entire team of AG, the 3 people just went on Dharma. And they got a kill, despite it's 3 versus 4. But because the TTG came a little bit later, so they had the confidence to fight there, right? Able to get a easy invade on the blue buff. Now extending the goal to 3,000 gold ahead. So even though the first 4 or 5 minutes, there's 0 kills on the board, and then both sides just farming, but it all comes down to who's more patient and who's able to take advantage of capitalize on the mistake. The first blood was traded, right? You gotta support Mozi taking a counter kill onto someone like Shenran, like Ran. Meanwhile, on the other side, Ran found a solo kill on Snowy, and they got a bottom tier 1, which is really good. Let's take a look at this tier 1 mid. How AG pushed this tower. When I was being on the analyst desk, it's kind of hard for us to explain because there's not too much time. And then now looking back is really easy for me to look at this and, you know, show you guys the details. Look at the positioning for this Tyrant, for this first tier 1, right? You got Zoe who's pressuring right behind the tower line. And they're constantly finding a little bit of poke here and there. Same as Sheng start using skills before the team can close the tower. Now they're ahead. Now they're pushing the tower. You can see Zoe. He's just positioning ahead of the tower and now move towards the blue buff to secure not only the tower but also the blue buff at the same time, right? Just versus the medic. Immediately after the blue buff steal, after the first tier 1 tower mid, Zoe immediately come to the red side and make sure that the tyrant is not given for free. So they do not like trade. Trading is not an option here. By the way, I'm extremely tired. Like, I don't know, the entire trip has been very tiring. Like, from casting, we were there, I think 10 o'clock. Probably a lot of days was 8:30-ish until like 9 p.m. More than 12 hours a day. Outside of that, we have to make content as well, so it's pretty tiring. But it was very productive, to be honest. It was a lot of fun. For sure, a lot of fun. Oh, look at the damage now from Eno. Already coming online, level 12. And when I watched Zane playing long and early, like, he was wondering why he's not very effective and is complaining about those characters. The reason why is he's not farming enough. This character all needs a lot of farm. Marksman is the insurance, late game insurance of the game, and needs communication, needs farm. So you know it's mostly farming. And now when he's coming back to the lane, you can see like one singular auto attack, enhanced auto attack is like 1/2, 50% of someone like Ogren's health. That's insane. All right, This is a high ground tower push. Very, very important that we learn this as well, right? You can see that right now, both side HP seems a little bit chipped, and then it's pretty even, but it's a high ground tower push. So the tower is on the side of TT, right? TT Global. So they have a tower advantage, and yet, right when the wave hits the lane, look at run goes in, and the same as Zoe, because they find that enemy team is trying to fight them. So they decide to push the enemy team away by initiating a strong fight. So when you're pushing towers and you know that you have opportunity to fight, you should always look for a great initiation, especially like someone like Sheng who can initiate in this case, right? You find a good ultimate, the team can follow up, and the tower in this game are fairly weak, so leverage that information and got like 2 kills as well as bottom tier 1 tower, bottom high ground tower. And now eventually snowballed into the game, I believe. Yep, that's game 1. Now, you might wonder like, okay, well, that seems like a pretty good start. What happened to AG? They lost 3 games in a row. Let's take a look at game 2 and 3. Look at game 2, and at game 2 and 3, I just want to show you the draft, right? The draft, I think, is a big issue in this game. Look at this AG.AL's draft. And initially when Aaron got picked, I was like, this is a pretty good pick. You know, Aaron, they have Gan and Mo, they have Liang. The combo is pretty simple, Liang, Gan, and Mo combo. But if you do that, you need a frontline tank. You cannot have a core mid, which is Gan and Mo, and then core jungle at the same time. That's a lot of core. I mean, I understand they wanted to go to HoE, but you have Gan and Mo already who can kill HoE. You need HoE to be hitting something. So I think for AG.AL, they should have a frontline tank in this game. Instead of having Jing, for example, if they would have picked, I would say, like a Flowborn tank. If they have secured Flowborn tank themselves this game, because they picked Liang first, and then like, you know, like Princess Frost or someone like a Flowborn tank here, this would be insane. This would have been insane. Like this comp, you have engage, disengage from Shrine, right? From Sun Ce's ultimate. Secondary engage from Sun Ce. And you have like Flowborn who's constantly sitting in the front doing a lot of damage. But instead of that, they pick Jing, which makes their team come really squishy. The only person who has some kind of frontline presence is Sun Ce, but he's obviously not always going to be there since he's clash lanes have to organize a wave. And sure enough, doesn't matter the skill, the mechanics, like late game, it's just extremely hard. Entire setup is extremely hard for AG because TT Global becomes so tanky. Look how tanky they are. Everybody's escape is 1 HP almost all the time. Yep, all 5 of them escape with sliver of health. So let me show you like 1 or 2 team fights from the game 2 and game 3. Show you the problem with not having a frontline tank, right? You can see Sun Ce looking to engage right here. This is a 5v5 clash. You know, Jing is getting in position, Sun Ce getting in position. There's 5 people from AG side. Try to wrap around TT Global and try to fight them. So Sun Ce obviously engage makes sense. He uses ultimate to do a knockup and really flashed onto the enemy team as well to do a chain CC. But because they don't have a frontline, who is able to soak up the first wave of qual control, they just get everybody's backing out. They saw this guys coming from miles away and sure got a free pull on the Sun Ce, and that's that, right? So, and this happened many different times. Let's take a look at this Tyrant fight. This is Enhanced Tyrant. You can see Sunrise stay in the front. He getting ulted by Liang and then full comboed. Same as Joy, right? Full comboed. But Zoe died as well. So, and the trade comes back in, right? Because they're not enough. By the way, I think Ran just made a mistake here. If it skill 1 in the right direction, they could have killed HoE a little bit earlier. End of the day, it's 3 versus 4 trade in the favor of TT Global. And this would continue. This same phenomenon will continue once, but worse and worse each time for the side of AG. Because TT Global will start becoming more and more tankier. All right, let's take a look at this team fight, right? So you obviously have Sun Ce going in, engaging one more time, and have to use ult just to get away. And now, like, look at Jing's position. He's in position, but he can go in, right? And at the same time, check this out. You got Liang holding Lian Po for sure, but at what cost? The moment when Ino try to go for damage, he get instantly pulled and double pulled by Shi, and then dead. Easy. All right, guys, this is one fight. Only fight I want to show you. This is a Tempest Dragon fight. To show you the problem of not having a frontline who can soak the damage. Look at Joy, right? He goes in immediately skill 1, and then he used Frigid Armor to stun them. And the third phase of stun did not trigger because of Liang. But due to the fact that he's so tanky, he solo tanked all 5 people and pushed them out. I would say 4 people, right? Pushed them out until Liang had to ult him, which wasted the ult. And then Qing can go in with Vati, and then the rest of the team can go in as well. So it's just really, really tanky for them. And now AG cannot find the damage because the front line is so strong, you know? Look at Snowy. If Run misses, he didn't even miss. If Run just like after use the stun, it's already over. Look at this. And then it's dead, right? And that's game. So even though they got Tempest Dragon, but TT Global turned fight around. Like if you look at next game draft, it's almost the exact same story. First, okay, Fatih first pick is not something I expected to happen because Fatih is already being used by TT Global. If anything, I would use Channel. I'll pick Agudor, right? But I mean, this is fine. This entire thing is fine. You gotta kind of like a tank. You're going with a push comp. So mid lane should be like what, Ziya or something like that, right? For the push. Oh, Zhou Yu, yeah. So Zhou Yu is something that I'm called for. By the way, TT Global have such a soul level pick. Okay. I mean, you have Mengya. Initially, when this first taken out, I was like, why Mengya though? Makes like, well, how does it make sense? It turned out this one can clean all the small camps from Agudor and Channel, the summon in an instant. Same as Nuwa blocks the dogs and Agudor summoning from getting closer to the tower. So this is just TT Global out-drafting their opposition. And also they picked their core combo, which is Dolia and Dun. Meanwhile, the other side, the core combo is Agudor, Channel, and Zhou Yu, which is split push composition. But if you look at this comp, they don't really have a traditional front line. No one is tanky. Fatih is not that tanky. Agudor is not that tanky. So it's just no one that's like kind of tanky for them to do anything. All right, guys, let's take a look at this fight, right? Again, this game for TT Global, they have a tank, Dun, in the front line. They have Qing, who is playing on Fuzi, who's also very tanky, you know? And the rest of the composition, you have Nuwa, you have Mengya. Kind of interesting with Nuwa pick initially, but then it makes sense because Nuwa can block the spawns coming out from Channel as well as Agudor, right? So this way it can delay the push a little bit further for TT Global to have a good defense. At the same time, Mengya can, do damage on a straight wave, which is a direct counter, I would say, to someone like Agudor and Channel with all the summoning, all the dogs and whatnot. So it's just really good pick. But with the frontline Dun available, it offers entire TT Global so much presence to fight. Even though here they're taking the Tyrant damage, but look, Dun is constantly in the front line, soaking up the entire engage here. And while he's getting engaged on, because it's so tanky, he bought the team so much time. But T died and really offered Fuzi's opportunity to wrap around. They got not only Fatih, but also Agudor. And they give the free Tyrant to the side of TT Global, right? So it's just that, now look, Mengya is just unstoppable right now. All right, let's take a look at base fight. See, 5 people, 2 people being extremely tanky, and then on TT Global side, and once Fatigue locked in, he's gonna take a lot of damage, and most likely he's gonna be dead. Can't even get away. Channel is dead. Like, Ino did his best. It's just not, his best is not enough in this case. The Panda doesn't want to die. It's Q Panda. So that's game 2 for TT Global. Let's take a look at game 3. Game 3 is the same thing, right? Game 3 is TT Global taking out Agudor. My Shirley, Mei In. But look at the entire side of AG.AL, right? You got Pei Baron. Oh, by the way, this is some weird game. I remembered. Because Shrai took Baiqi. Baiqi, Sun Bing is a good engage. I can see the synergy. The issue is they're lacking damage. They're relying everything on Haino, which Haino doesn't really have any burst. And it takes a long time to develop. That's why Haino is not really used mid that much. But in this particular game, I think the reason why is Haino skill 1 has a similar effect to Mengya. So they're using Haino to counter someone like Agudor, right? Because after Agudor got picked, Haino got picked next. Which you can understand why. It's just that eventually they rely on Haino to be the only person who would do damage, where Pei wasn't building damage at all. They have frontline, which is Baiqi as well as Byron, who are not that tanky sadly either. Whereas if you look at side of TT Global, they're going Shouyue poke, that idea kind of pokey, right? This game is, I wouldn't say draft side that AG.AL is losing or far behind. It's just that they're too far behind in game 3. Like if somehow Baiqi is able to reach or Haino is able to reach his power spike a lot earlier, this game would have been a completely different story. So look at right away, that idea was trying to invade. Haino was trying to invade as well, but this invade obviously did not work out due to the fact that that idea was here. So yeah, Changsheng just died. And then now TT is gonna find a good invade. Zoe knows that the mid lane is dead, decided to do a mirror invade as well. So they got a blue buff. The first blood is okay. It's not like game changing, I would say. Let's continue. And then able to get top farm as well. So Pei is still farming all right. He's level 4 already. So far, there's not too much gold differential. 400 gold until like every lane start constantly getting ganked. Dude, there's so much CC, especially with Mei In. 1-2, 1-2, 1-2 combo. That's 1-2 into 1-1. And then he's dead. Into 2-2. I think Heino died like 5 times fairly early. Baiqi. The thing is, like, Baiqi, after he invades, no damage. Take a look at mid lane. Because there's no damage on the team. Pei also built tank. Look at Pei's build. Tank jungle item. You went for Axe of Torment next, it seems like. Take a look at mid lane. My Shirnu, you find an instant engage right here. Alright, let's take a look at this team fight. This is 6 minutes, 5-0. Baiqi Ino misses ultimate. Pei looking to go in onto Crane. They couldn't find it, but they immediately shift their attention onto the idea. Got to kill number 1. Baiqi doesn't have all any further. Let's continue the next fight. But Sumi is getting initiated on. And there's no one who can stop Qing Qing. No one who can even stop him. Is he dead? Finally, right? And then Changsheng just couldn't survive whatsoever. Like, even though he's not the target who's getting hit. Yeah. Yeah, one shot it, even through ultimate. Mai just can't even save him. Well, Mai wasn't saving him. I was trying to kill him. From that point on, the game went to a snowball towards TD Global. And then since AG.AL didn't really have a front line, this game lasted, I think, like 20-something minutes. It's insane. Let's take a look at Game 4. Game 4 is when AG.AL shifted their strategy. Okay, their draft strategy. They went back to the Da-Qiao Flowborn tank. This is when they have a front line again, and then secondary engage, right, with the lane and all that. So they pick their core, they pick their combo, and then they draft around surrounding their combo. You know, what would work for them with now having this combo, and then that's literally what they do. So this is the AG.AL that I like. You know, look at TD Global. They also picked a really strong comp, Monkey, and then you have Dianjie, right? Da-Qiao, Xiaoqiao, Zhang Fei. So they have 2 strong front line, Zhang Fei and Monkey. They have Xiaoqiao and Dianjie for the core damage dealers. So they just need to pick a strong clash lane and they're good to go. Meanwhile, for the side of AG.AL, they have Marco Polo, Lianpo, and Flowborn tank. So they have 2 tanks. They have a hyper carry Marco Polo, and they have a lane Da-Qiao, as well as Flowborn Da-Qiao combo. I think TD Global, the issue that the reason why they didn't get 4-1 sweep is because they picked Lu Bu. I mean, when you pick a ranked character, there's a reason why that character doesn't win. Oh, nice damage from Ino right there. Again, we're switching Ino to mid. The reason why is he's probably losing lane into this. So we decided, because Zhang Fei is going to block everything from Ino so he can't farm. They decided to shift the strategy a little bit and send Ino towards mid. Every time when a marksman lane is losing, you can do exactly what they're doing here. Switch marksman to a different lane, either mid or clash. That's exactly what Ino is doing. Now, like, bottom lane is Da-Qiao and Lianpo, right? Which is kind of crazy. By the way, Snowy is known for the flash ult on, like, Dianjie. Like, he's so good at it. Look at this flash ult. You know, caught Changshen off guard. And he got Chen CC'd with Zhang Fei's maximum range ultimate. And then Xiaoqiao's damage, he's just dead. I mean, this is just pure mechanic plus synergy here from TD Global. Snowy, ult flash, Joy, maximum range ultimate, onto the wall, and it's game over. All right, this is a 5v4 kind of fight, okay? 5v4 kind of fight. First, you have the invade coming in onto the blue. Flowborn tank, Marco Polo, they're going for the Lu Bu on the top side. And then a lane is going for the back line, right? The lane plus Lianpo all together. They got a kill onto Xiaoqiao, and then they backed away. It took the objective. Lianpo died, but Marco Polo still holds on to his ultimate. He's not using it at all. Like, when you play Marco, there's a lot of things you can learn from, you know. He's not using ult very haphazardly. He's waiting for the right moment. Most times rely on all attack and dash to deal damage. It's a 3-2 scenario, right? 3 people on the bottom side getting vision. And meanwhile, 2 versus 1 on the top side. So 3-2 versus 4-3. The 3 people defend, the 2 is offense. And that's what they did. They got a kill on the Qing Qing right there. Even without, you know, nice dash from Ino to dodge the skill 1. Marco Polo is hyper farmed. And then obviously you have Da-Qiao teleport everybody in, so that's why they're able to do this. Shadow Tyrant. This is a 5v4. 5v5. 4v4 first? Yeah, 5v4. Okay, let's take a look at this fight, right? AG is doing the Tyrant here. Tyrant is giving it away for free. And now Fei is low, right? 3 people are focused on Crane first, who got caught out of guard. Right? You can see he's going to do some damage. Lianpo immediately went in for the full call control. Double dash, knock up, and then 3rd phase knock up. Yeah, Lu Bu is not doing any damage. All right, let's take a look at game 6, right? Game 6. This is look at AG.AL's fight, a team comp again. First, I want to say TT Global started with Long, their core pick, right? And then Lady Jen Zhuangzi. Knowing that Dharma has been picked, Yuhuan's been picked. So Zhuangzi makes a lot of sense here. Immediately Zhuangzi was taken out, Musashi was taken out. The reason for Musashi is Musashi can go for Long and bait out Zhuangzi's ultimate. And after Zhuangzi uses all, that's when Dharma goes in. And those have Xiaoqiao as well. So I still like, I mean, AG.AL this time they have Musashi's front lines. That's something I like. But they're also going for the poke comp with Shouyue and Xiaoqiao. So I like that a lot, right? Composition wise. And obviously they're winning this comp. I like Shouyue quite a bit. This character is, I wouldn't say underrated, but people need to play him more. It's the late game all attack on Shouyue hurts, not just the skill 2. Alright guys, last but not least, I want to take a look at Ultimate Battle for AG versus TT, okay? We analyze the first 6 games. I think overall you can see a trend. When you have a frontline tank in this game, when you have someone who's defined as a frontline tank, the game becomes much easier to play. And that's what's shown by AG.AL versus TT Global, right? When TT Global had a frontline and AG.AL didn't have one, they went 3-1 with it. And then when the other way around happened, AG.AL had the lead, right? In this particular game, it's Ultimate Battle, the last game where everything can be picked. Fatih versus Fatih. Fatih is definitely one of the strongest clash lanes in the game right now, more so than Byron. So you would definitely want to master Fatih if you're looking to, you know, just learn a character that can be good to learn the clash lane and also help win some games. At the same time, let's look at other positions, right? For TT Global, their front line is obviously Ogron. They have Liang and Princess Frost as their full combo. Meanwhile, AG, they have Yino and Arlie, and everything else is the same. You know, they have Liang, they have Princess Frost, they have Ogron, which is the only difference is just their marksman choice. So both teams have Ogron's front line, and they have, it's one side. I think Arlie is just a lot better because Arlie can block Hoi's ultimate. That's number 1. Number 2 is Arlie is a lot more mobile, you know, late game a lot more damage as well, burst damage wise, to work with Liang. So if you look at over in this position, let's take a look at this team fight right here, right? You can see on bottom side it's a 4 versus 4. Initially it's 4 versus 4, but initially like Arlie wasn't even there, you know, so it's just a really good freeze from Changsheng landing on 2 and the ultimate, and immediately entire AG just followed up, getting kill number 1. Kill number 2 is going to be a little bit harsh, but they got a Tyrant and they're going to secure it and go back. And now looking to invade. AG is very opportunistic. Once there's opportunity, they take it and then they skill it, right? This is the opportunity they took. Meanwhile, TT Global, let's take a look at this fight right here. Fatih goes in. Okay, instantly when Ran goes in, he get pulled. At what cost, right? So you're going to get kill number 1. It's a trade of clash to marksman, but Yino also get killed. How do Yino get killed again? Oh, Yino get fatigued. That's why. Fatih is so strong. Fatih is used specifically to counter someone like Arlie. And obviously when Arlie rotates too much instead of farming, that's what you expect. Let's take a look at this fight, right? 5 people. This is how AG push towers. They have 4 people pressuring bottom. Once rotated mid, you have the entire set of TT try to wrap around. They got a kill on Dusheng, but because AG was wrapping around, they're able to get a kill number 1, kill number 2, and they get everybody else low. So Sunrise is gonna die here as well. So 2-3 trade to the favor of AG, and they're gonna now capitalize on that win, get tier 2 tower mid, tier 1 tower mid. I think they get 2 towers mid here. No, they only got 1. Outer turret and outer turret, mid lane. So now they're gonna push mid. Let's take a look at this Tyrant fight. Vision, when Ogren comes in, he immediately get engaged on by Fatih and he couldn't get away, and Arlie is doing so much damage. See, like if this is HoE, if AG Global also picked HoE like TT Global, if AG.AL, they wouldn't be doing this, right? Because Fatih is obviously not going to be enough to kill someone like Sunrise on Ogron. So like if you're playing Ultimate Battle, this is why Arlie is so good. The amount of mobility and burst damage this character offers towards tank late game is absolutely insane. And then you just have to practice here a lot more, right? Mid high ground tower is almost done. And now with Primal Bond, AG.AL still decided to do the other buff, which is something they do pretty characteristically. And let's say top lane, let's take a look at the top lane push. Now no one has skills, let's take a look. Fatih flashed in. Wait, did he flash in? Or did he just jump in? Oh, he jumped in, yeah. He's getting Liang ulted. But he's really tanky though, survives. This is the power of Fatih. You know that again. because got hold, I think. The moment he goes in, no, he got fatigued. So he just went in a little bit too closer to fatigue, played slightly carelessly. And that will be mostly the game, I think. There's not too much else to talk about. Let's take a look at one last team fight. Show Tyrant. Okay, skill 1, getting vision. All right, fatigue. They're trying to go to kill the jungler. They got a kill, but at what cost? At this point, you have Sage Sanctuary coming in, right? Yeah, Sage Sanctuary. And then Zoe didn't even have it initially. He built it like after. When he knew he was held, he immediately sold it and bought Sage Sanctuary. Meanwhile, the rest of the team started diving in. This is a 4 vs 5 initially. But this is why frontline is so important. Because Algorand is so tanky, it took them forever just to kill the Algorand, which offers AG a tremendous amount of time to do whatever they need to do to catch up, right? Especially when the team is playing together. The extra few seconds that was bought is enough for the team to come in and do the damage they needed. And now Ryan is going to stay in the front and kill everybody, so they wouldn't have a chance to come back. And AG.AL won the championship. So guys, like if you look at the entire series of draft, I would say the most important element to take home with if you want to play 5-man is you gotta have a frontline tank in the current meta. It's either need to be a jungler or a roam, right? You can have Zhang Fei as tank, you can have Lian Po as tank. Lian Po is being really prioritized now. You can have many different options as tank. But the important thing is you need to have some frontline, right? If you don't have any frontline, you're gonna have an issue. And you're gonna have a clear defined engage bait, like what AG is doing. But obviously that's 5-man. However, when you play solo duo, when you play like a support, especially when you play support role and you realize your teams have a lot of assassins, you definitely want to get a Lian Po going. Okay, it's an easy character to play 1-2-1, Frigid Armor, or 3 dash, double dash Frigid Armor and use the third phase of skill 3 to knock up, or you can double skill 3 first and then skill 1 for the knock up, and then 1-2-1 and then do the last skill 3. So there are many different options that you can go with, right? On Lian Po, it's just a really strong tank, and Dashuai is also Dashuai's favorite character. You just need to make sure you have some frontline presence. If you don't have frontline presence, you're gonna run into what AG ran into the first, like after from game 2 to game 4, which is like cannot fight despite doesn't matter how well they play. It took them too long to kill the frontline tank, which allowed TD Global to run them down, right? What do y'all think about this series, guys? Did you watch KWC along with us? Let me know in the comment section down below. With that said, I'm signing off, and I'll see you guys all next time, if there is next time. Bye for now.